Hey, welcome to World Code Updates. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. The air over Norfolk, Virginia, was heavy as two giants of the sea, the USS Normandy and USS Philippine Sea, stood silent at the pier. Their gray hulls, once symbols of American power, now watched the proceedings with quiet dignity. Sailors in dress white stood at attention, pride and sadness etched on their faces. This was a farewell, not a celebration. The stars and stripes were lowered for the last time, folded with care by the honor guard. Over 3 decades of service for these Ticonderoga-class cruisers ended in a single ceremony. These ships were more than steel, they were homes, guardians, and instruments of American policy. The USS Normandy, named for the D-Day landings, had sailed through tense standoffs and patrolled volatile waters. Now its engines were cold, its radar dark, its missile cells empty. The Navy decided their time was up. Maintenance costs and shifting strategy made them relics of a past era. As the bugle call faded, a chapter of naval history closed. The ships were decommissioned, their names struck from the roster. For their crews it was a moment of reflection. Stories of storms, missions, and friendships filled the air. The question lingered. What next for these titans? Would they be scrapped, or find new life under another flag? Their retirement created a vacuum, and an opportunity that would soon echo all the way to the Philippines. As the USS Normandy entered the reserve fleet, a new idea surfaced in Washington, D.C. Some in Congress saw not an obsolete vessel, but a powerful tool for allies. A proposal in the National Defense Authorization Act suggested offering these warships to key partners, especially the Philippines. The Philippines faces growing pressure in the West Philippine Sea, and its navy is outmatched. Giving them a ship like the Normandy would be a leap in capability and a strong signal of U.S. commitment. But, could the Philippine Navy handle such a complex, expensive ship? Supporters argued the strategic benefits outweighed the costs. A Normandy in Philippine hands would shift the regional balance. Skeptics warned it could become a white elephant, draining resources without being fully operational. The debate intensified. Was this a gift or a burden? The question was no longer just about giving a ship. It was about ensuring it could actually fight. The answer would shape the future of the U.S. Philippine alliance. To grasp the weight of this transfer, consider the USS Normandy itself. Commissioned in 1989, it's a Ticonderoga-class cruiser built around the revolutionary Aegis combat system. The Normandy could track and engage over 100 targets at once, defending entire carrier groups. Its name honors the Allied invasion of France, and its motto, Vanguard of Victory, reflects its legacy. The ship served in Desert Storm, enforced no-fly zones, fought pirates, and delivered humanitarian aid. But age and cost caught up. Its systems are old, its upkeep immense. The Navy chose to invest in newer, more efficient ships. Yet, the Normandy's Aegis system and 122 missile cells still outclass most navies. Its firepower can shape regional conflicts. The ship isn't weak. It's just too expensive for the U.S. to keep. For the Philippines, it would be a technological leap of generations. The question, could they harness its power, or would it overwhelm them? The answer would define their naval future. Congress's push to transfer ships like the Normandy is pragmatic. Why let billions in hardware decay when allies could use them on the front lines? The mothball fleet is a graveyard for ships unlikely to return. Transferring a decommissioned cruiser is a win-win. The U.S. offloads costs, strengthens a partner, and reinforces alliances. It's powerful, cost-effective military aid. As tensions rise, the argument is clear. U.S. interests are best served when allies can defend themselves. A Normandy under a Philippine flag would still serve American strategy in the Indo-Pacific. It's a modern twist on Lend-Lease, critical equipment for friends in need. Critics worry about sensitive tech and diplomatic fallout, but Congress sees more value in these ships at sea than tied to a pier. The message, think creatively about retired assets. These ships have more value sailing under a friendly flag than rusting away. The U.S. has long transferred retired ships to the Philippines. These hand-me-downs, from Coast Guard cutters to landing craft, have formed the backbone of the Philippine fleet. The BRP Gregorio del Pilar and its sisters, once U.S. cutters, now patrol the West Philippine Sea. Armed and modernized, they represent a major step up for the Philippines. Beyond these, the Philippines has received patrol craft, landing ships, and research vessels, each transfer a boost to its capabilities. The Excess Defense Articles program helps modernize the fleet and cements the alliance. But the Normandy is a different beast, far more complex and expensive than any previous transfer. The Hamilton-class cutters are simple. The Normandy is a high-tech war machine. Its systems, crew, and costs are in another league. This wouldn't be just another hand-me-down, it would be a transformational and potentially overwhelming gift. The scale of the leap is unprecedented. The Normandy's firepower dwarfs the entire Philippine Navy. Its 122 vertical launch cells can carry missiles for air defense, land attack, and anti-submarine warfare. The current flagship, BRP Jose Rizal, is modern but has only a fraction of the Normandy's missile capacity. Most of the Philippine fleet consists of older patrol vessels with naval guns, not missiles. The Normandy alone has more air defense capability than the entire Philippine Air Force. Its Aegis radar outclasses all Philippine ground-based systems. In combat, it could engage dozens of targets simultaneously, far beyond the reach of the current fleet. The difference is stark, a modern battleship versus patrol boats. The Philippine Navy does its best with limited resources, but the Normandy would be a generational leap. It would instantly give the Philippines a capital ship rivaling regional powers. But with such power comes new challenges. Could the Philippines truly operate and sustain such a ship? Picture the Normandy, now BRP Lapu-Lapu, sailing under a Philippine flag in the West Philippine Sea. Its presence would transform the strategic landscape. Philippine ships, often harassed by larger foreign vessels, would gain a formidable guardian. The Normandy's Aegis system would create a protective bubble, shielding Philippine assets from air and missile threats. It would serve as a command center, coordinating operations and sharing intelligence across the fleet. The ship's firepower would deter escalation and force adversaries to think twice. But it would also become a prime target, requiring escorts and a new approach to naval strategy. The Philippines would need to shift from patrols to task force operations. The Normandy would be a powerful queen on the chessboard, but one that must be protected at all costs. Its arrival would demand a complete rethink of Philippine naval doctrine. The dream of a Philippine Aegis cruiser collides with reality cost. The ship might be free to acquire, but operating it is another story. Running a Ticonderoga-class cruiser costs $40–50 million a year, nearly a fifth of the Philippine Navy's entire budget. That could mean sacrificing new patrol vessels, helicopters, or base improvements. The Normandy could become a budget black hole, starving the rest of the fleet. Maintenance and upgrades are another hurdle. Major overhauls cost hundreds of millions, and the Philippines lacks the necessary shipyards and expertise. Without sustained U.S. support, the ship could quickly become non-operational. Then there's the human factor. A crew of nearly 400, all needing advanced training. Training and retaining such a specialized force would strain the Navy's resources. The Normandy could create a skills gap across the fleet. The challenges of crewing, training, and maintaining the ship are as daunting as the financial costs. The Philippines must weigh quality versus quantity. Is one super ship worth the sacrifice of a balanced fleet? The Philippines faces a strategic crossroads. One option: accept the Normandy with a U.S.-backed support package, refurbishment, training, and technical advisors. This would ease the burden but make the Philippines dependent on U.S. support for its most powerful asset. Alternatively, Manila could decline the cruiser and focus on gradual modernization, more patrol vessels, corvettes, and frigates. These ships are cheaper, require smaller crews, and fit existing infrastructure. The strategy: build a larger fleet of good enough ships, not bet everything on one super ship. Another path: invest in asymmetric capabilities, land-based missiles, drones, and fast attack boats. These offer deterrence at a fraction of the cost. The decision isn't just about a ship, it's about the nation's defense posture for decades. Does the Philippines embrace the power and burden of a capital ship, or pursue a more resilient, distributed force? The answer will shape its security and alliance with the U.S. The world is watching Manila's next move. The future of Philippine defense hangs in the balance.